My next guest today is a powerhouse vocalist from the Los Angeles area. Her unique genre, popra, which is pop opera, pulls from her years of singing the halls of an opera house. She's amazing. Her cutting-edge style combines contemporary rock, pop with a theatrical flair. She's here at the Wonderama House Party. We're happy to have her. Please give it up for my friend, Sky.
Hi.
What's going on, Sky?
I'm so glad to be here. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, best day of my life. Seriously, this is so fun. It's nice to be able to connect. I wish we were in person, though.
Oh, me too. I've never been somebody who likes to go out, and now I am just craving a good night out with friends right now.
Yeah, right. You don't think kid opera stars, but that's what you were. You were a singing opera at a very young age.
When my mom first came to me, she's like, "Do you want to sing opera?" And I was like, "No, I want to be a rock star." And she was like, "Well, we're gonna put you in this program, and if you hate it after a year, you can quit." And I did my first show, Hansel and Gretel. I was a little gingerbread child, and I loved it. I loved it, and I didn't quit.
I can tell.
In high school, I was in a rock opera band. And so when I got older, I wanted to go more into contemporary. And I was like, well, what can I call it? Because it's not really rock opera anymore. And then I was like, oh, popra. So that's when I started using that term to describe my music, because I was just kind of like, well, it sounds like Billie Eilish and Freddie Mercury combined and collaborated. And I kept trying to explain it. And I was like, wait, pop opera. And they were like, oh, I get it. Okay.
So many artists out there, there's a lot of noise. To be able to rise to the top and be noticed, you have to kind of stand apart. It sounds like you're doing just that.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best that I can. It's a double-edged sword. Being unique is, I'd say, it's a blessing and a curse, because you're unique, and when people hear you, they know it's you. But then at the same time, you have some more barriers to break down because you're unpredictable. So you have to make your own space, and so it's a little bit more of an uphill battle. But I think it's one that's worth fighting.
That's actually a pretty good advice. And speaking of which, for the kids that are watching all over the place, all over the world for that matter, and they're looking at you and they're like, wow, I want to do that. I want to become my own artist, a singer and writer and all that. What advice would you give to these kids?
My biggest advice is, if music is what you live and you breathe for, I always say, don't make a plan B. Plan B always becomes plan A. Just go for plan A. There's no reason that you can't have plan A.
Here at the House Party, we partnered up with the Census 2020, and we're talking about that to kids all over and why it's so important to be counted. Why do you think it's important?
Well, they say that the census is one of the most authoritative data sets that the United States pulls from. And that's why it's so important. So many decisions are made based on the data from the 2020 census. So it is super important to be counted, because being counted means you're being represented. And that's that's what we need. We need to know who is where and where they are and what they need. And so that's why the census is so important. I mean, it's in the Constitution for a reason.
It's as simple as that, and not just for the representation, but a lot of money goes right to those communities. That's so needed for so many programs. So thanks for being such an advocate for that. Well, you always perform and you speak with such a message and a storytelling, and we would love to have you perform something for us right now. Is that okay?
Yeah,
You down for that? Cool. What would you be singing for us right now?
I will be singing my song, Broken Hallelujah.
Broken Hallelujah. That's awesome. Can't wait to hear it. Take it away, ladies and gentlemen. Sky.
Last time we spoke, I said some things that I don't stand by anymore. Do you remember? It's been some time since you last held me, since I was intense with grief. And I don't know how to say this. Life's been hard and I'm losing it. I got nothing left to give. Take my broken hallelujah. It's all that I have to offer. All I ask is that Take my broken hallelujah, please don't turn me away. All I ask is that you stay and you take me home and don't let me go. Take my broken hallelujah. It's all that I have to offer. All I ask is that you take me home with you. Take my broken hallelujah.
That is Sky, and that song is Broken Hallelujah. You are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.